Greetings, Starseed, light workers, and lovers of light. This is Saturday, March the 28th, 2020, and this is Oya Transformation, and this is your daily Oracle reading for March the 28th. Hope everybody had a good week. All things considered, you could find a reason to smile. And these times that challenge what we know to be true, or what we have known to be true, we are calling on our ancestors and our spirit guides. We are calling on the Holy Spirit through me to give us a theme for this Saturday, so that we may be able to navigate it just a little bit better. Share with us, ancestors, your knowing for this Saturday and what you want us to look at. Keep us high. Don't allow our consciousness to drop. Show us what you would have us be reminded of for this Saturday, March 2020. Make it clear, make it concise. And the response is growth. I want to expand my consciousness and my awareness. And this is coming from the solar plexus. So that's saying to me that the growth we're talking about is in our knowing, because the solar plexus talks about our knowing and our intuition. And what exactly is it that we want to grow during this period? Our word tech power. So mind your mind, because from the mind comes the thoughts. From the thoughts come the world. So we want to expand in this time of restriction. Be a good time to practice what you do know, so that what you don't know becomes less of a concern. What we have in the toolbox is a number 15, which is reduced to a 6, imagination, fantasy, and original ideas. So we're being asked to create and to grow in ways that are possibly foreign to us, or ways that we have not practiced. Yet this is what we're being called to. Use your imagination, sit still, and access the powers of your mind that you don't access too often, because we often run around like automatons, just doing the next, hopefully, right thing. But time will go by that way. Would you have touched your bucket list? Would you have touched anything that was near and dear to your heart other than stumbling upon it? So our toolbox, number 15, is saying choose freedom. Sometimes you may feel as though your way is blocked, but often that's just an illusion. You could free yourself from the obstacles that you're so focused on by choosing a different path. Turn your thoughts away from negativity and instead envision endless other possibilities you might act upon. Let me read that again. I'm going to read that again. Turn your thoughts away from negativity, whether you frame your negativity into this is the reality or not. Realities don't do really big shifts day after day. that is an illusion. Turn your thoughts away from negative and instead envision endless other possibilities you might act upon. I'm loving that. Why? Because this week, excuse me, this week, okay, I slept in. I don't have it. I slept in and I'm gunky all the time when I get up. So, and I wanted to get this out to you as soon as possible. I'll let you know if I get it. Anyway, let's see what our chakras are trying to remind us of. Holy Spirit, through me, Ascended Masters, Ancestors, we call for your help. Our chakras were put in place to help us walk. Our feelings are put in place to help us recognize the intuitive things that surround us, that help us to continue to walk and not look back. So, Spirit guides, Ascended Masters, what would you give us as a reminder from our chakras? And the call is for perfection. Now we're gonna clarify that, because I would assume that a call for perfection is to get a focus, to pinpoint where you're shooting your azimuth. That's one perspective, and the other is that perfection is already here. Move in your own grace. Move in your own in your own gifts, because they are perfected within you. But a lot of times we're chasing the dollar, so we don't even know what our gifts are, much less how to bring them to light. Perfection. Righteous raspberry. I have the same high standards for myself as I have for others. The legend says Raspberry needs no makeup to accentuate her exquisite features, but she wears it anyway. She is a perfectionist. She speaks the truth at all times, believing that she is helping others by sharing her truth. While statements such as "your child is overweight" are honest, they make others avoid her. Lonely, she seeks the advice of her favorite elderberry, who teaches her that honesty without kindness is cruelty. Her new vulnerability allows her to see the beauty in others as well as herself. That speaks to keeping it 100. So 100. And did you just throw a 100-pound weight on somebody's toe? That ain't love. All things in love. We do in love. Even if it's rejection, we do it through the lens of love. The inspiration for this card is, are you being too hard on yourself and consequently on others? Begin to look for what's right and good in your own world, and you will be set free. Uniqueness, friendship, and acceptance are the key words. Key ideas are alienating others, feeling alienated, seeking perfection, and deeply desiring love. Transformation is ahead. Okay. So that says, to me, that enable for us to grow, we have to continue to remember we need to choose freedom. And choosing freedom would be, as I hear it, choosing freedom is allowing others to be okay in the space that they're in. And if you want to share something honestly, talk about yourself. And some folks would say, oh, that's self-centered, and that's... No, I'm not talking about your glory days. I'm talking about how you became who you are. And if you can share with something with somebody that's driving for perfection and being hard on themselves and those around them, share how you practice being humble and what humility brought to you. Because the first honesty needs to be with self. So when something is bothering me about somebody else, what is that triggering in regard to how it makes me feel and why? If I analyze that, I got a pretty good chance of expanding my perspective. So the Daily Miracle says, the past is over. It can touch me not. All your past except its beauty is gone, and nothing is left but a blessing. Okay, that speaks to the perfection. We are being perfected by our failures. So the more I drop the ball, the more I scratch my head, because that didn't quite get it, the better I become. That's if I use those things, those experiences, for my next step forward. Now we all have a little moment of, it didn't work, okay. So what will? So what will? So what's next? So what's next? So expansion calls for continued awareness of the feeling I'm sitting in right now. Because some feelings allow for expansion, and some feelings allow for constriction. So what am I feeling? Is it constricting my movement, or is it allowing for expansion? So the theme for today, March 28th, 2020, is growth. What you want to grow. Perfection is happening every day. If just by the fact that we got a new batch of cells to work with, are you feeding them good stuff so they're going to be better than the last ones? It's not a whole lot. We don't have to go real deep in our searching and our moving to be better. Because what gets it is the small things, the practice and the incremental changes in perspective. Because if I go way out to the left, I'm going to start stumbling my way back. Now that's a way of doing it. But not as gentle as it could be. So with that said, happy Saturday, March 28th. Again, this is Oya Transformation Oracle Readings. We can be found on YouTube. Please subscribe and like and comment if you will. Continue to be blessed, and namaste.